The opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date is May 14th, 2021. And for those of us in the lovely state of Kentucky that have our shots, we don't have to wear a mask anymore.
After the 11th.
And after the, well, that's if we have our shots. Now, after the 11th, the rest of you all are on your own. They're turning us loose. It'll be man eat man and all that good stuff. Anyway, we have speaker announcements tonight. Now, I'm going to start the show off with a disclaimer and say I teased we would have celebrity announcements, and the contracts didn't get reviewed. We have the contracts. I know who they are. I told Cece I'm not allowed to tell you. So, but yeah, we have three more paranormal announcements to make. I'll put it this way. One of them in particular is someone who has not been to Scarefest yet and their name comes up nearly every year. So, that's the best I can do. I'm sorry. Anyway, Cece Ann is my co-host tonight. And she's I've noticed you've started dressing for the occasion. Your vacation did you well.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's not wintertime anymore.
Is that what it is?
Oh, Susan,
go ahead and pull us both.
Hi, Susan.
So anyway, everybody, that's what we're doing tonight. Yeah, low-key show, although I'm going to start the show off. Has anybody in the chat room, have you been watching, or have you watched, because I binged the entire thing this week, Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. I've had this steady stream of superhero shows coming out, and that one is my newest one, and kind of like it. So, and then the lag in the chat room will be 5 minutes before I get a reply. But, let's just go on.
Still saying hi. Hi, everybody.
Let's go ahead and get into our announcements. Now, actually, now tonight's announcements, yes, they're all welcome back Cotter episodes. In other words, they're popular speakers that come just about every year, and several of them are usually standing room only. So there's a reason they come back every year. And we're going to start it off, and I wish I'd done banners for this, but I haven't yet. Stephanie Bingham, the lovely and talented Stephanie Bingham, who actually has more TV credits than about half of our damn stars. She will be speaking about Lizzie Borden, Murder and Hauntings. Probably should be a the in front of that. The Lizzie Borden Murder and Hauntings. And of course, if you don't know, Stephanie Bingham was born and raised in Western Kentucky and has had the ability to see spirits since she was a small child. She received her undergraduate degrees in history and anthropology, as well as her master's degree in history, and specializes in the paranormal history of the United States. I didn't know she had a master's degree.
Now you know.
Had no idea. I knew she was smarter than me, but I had no idea. She uses her degrees to both research the paranormal and to help others with talents like her own learn how to use them. Her unique encounters have been featured on The CW's Mysteries Decoded, Destination America's Paranormal Lockdown. I did not know she was a Paranormal Lockdown. And Sci-Fi Channel's School Spirits. In the lecture that she gives, she has been published in several books. And I don't remember the name of the series because it only ran one season, but she did another series. The one where she was at the Lizzie Borden murder house.
Interesting. I'm reading a little bit about her right now, and she, like you said, she started seeing ghosts when she was very, very young. And it appears that she didn't even know that they weren't real people until she realized other people around couldn't see them. So that's really interesting.
I've always wondered. A lot of psychics tell me that, and
Yeah.
I mean, if you're, I guess, depending on how young you are, if it's like 3 or 4, I get it. And with her, it probably was. But I mean, I just
when you're
wonder.
a child, you're so open to things anyway. So
I'm just wondering.
you haven't been taught to judge things yet, right?
I'm wondering how long it takes them to figure it out, though. I mean, like, this is my friend Bob, and everybody goes, ah, ha, ha, ha. She's so cute. Anyway, now, of course, for the Scarefest audience, the important thing to know about Stephanie Bingham is she's absolutely beautiful and dresses for the occasion. I have seen her in slacks, I think, one time.
Oh.
Yeah, does not own jeans or sweatpants. That is how highfalutin this young lady is. But yes, Stephanie Bingham will be coming back to give the Lizzie Borden murder and hauntings speech. So just to draw this out, and not go to my other announcements. What you been watching, Cece?
Oh, let's see. You always put me on the spot when you ask me that. I have been watching everything on Shudder recently. Let's see, what is something that I watched recently that I really liked? Let me see what's playing on Shudder Channel Movies right now. Gosh, I've been watching some of the older stuff, older black and white stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That I've really liked. Let's see. You always have to put me on the spot, Wes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I do. Because I don't have anything. Okay, I tell you what I will talk about. Well, while you're trying to get your memory jogged, the Mystical Fair, which I was going to bring up at the half-hour mark, but we'll bump it up. Everybody, the Mystical Market, Central Kentucky Mystical Market, was last weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Clarion Hotel. There'll be another one in June, and I want to tell you, you missed a really good return to normalcy event. Good selection of vendors, good crowds actually. Saturday afternoon was quite busy. Now Sunday peaked
around lunchtime.
Yeah, well, they didn't open till lunchtime.
Well,
but I'm saying right at
lunchtime,
lunchtime, everybody came in and they went home, and the rest of the day we sat around trying to keep Steve Smith from Spirit Mechanics from falling asleep, because he was out with me the night before. But it was a really, and of course Captain Jack Rabbit made his debut.
I saw your pictures. You look great.
The photos are all over Facebook. The only problem I'm having is the ears. If you don't buckle it around your chin, which I didn't want to do, the ears are actually quite heavy, and that thing flops sideways. So I got to work on that. And I think I'm going to fix it by actually adding a pirate hat. So you put the ears through the hat.
Around the ears?
Well, no, the ears would, I'll have to cut holes in it. So I won't ask for donations, or I won't be borrowing none. But I'm going to cut holes in it and hopefully it'll snug up everything on top enough to hold the ears in place. Did you catch in the pictures? I even had an earring, a pirate earring hanging from the rabbit ears. It's those little attentions to detail that have gotten me where I am.
Mm-hmm.
The host of a video podcast.
Okay. Here's one I watched this week. I watched Basket Case, done in 1982.
Yes.
Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Great.
I
Easy but awesome.
horribly cheesy. I watched it. Now I'll put it this way: the way I found that movie,
Yeah.
I think it was on Amazon Prime, and basically I might have Googled it though. But anyway, it made the list of the top 100 movies, top 100 bad movies of all time.
Really?
Worst
It's got 4
movies.
stars. I watched it because it had 4 stars.
Well,
I would have given it 5.
it had its charm. I will say that. Look, everybody in the chat room, what the hell can you say about Basket Case? I do think, no wonder why that's never been remade.
You know what? That's an interesting question because I feel like they remake all of them all the time. That would be an interesting one to see with better
Everything?
graphics and stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm trying to figure out how the Basket Case character, some of the locomotion he did did not seem to fit what he had, the tools that he had available. I'll put it that way.
No, but that was part of its charm.
That was, but everybody, if you've not seen Basket Case, you do owe it to yourself to watch it. I will say that. And it's on Shudder now, huh?
Yep, it's on Shudder.
Okay, so you've watched Basket Case. Yeah, that was an experience. Okay, what else have you watched?
What else have I watched? This week I watched the original The Wicker Man.
Have not seen it.
1973. And I don't know if you've seen the newer version. Nicolas Cage did
I tried to
version.
I tried to watch it. It actually kind of put me to sleep.
Did it really? I thought it was really interesting. It had a little bit of a twist at the end. If you waited until the end and saw how it all built up, I think it was worth watching through to the end. The newer version was very, very much true to the original 1973 version. Except in the 1973 version, Britt Eklund was in it and did a very extended nude dancing scene, which they didn't have in the newer version. So that you might want to watch the older
So I might
version.
I might have to go back and revisit that title, as we say. I think for Scarefest we should book Nicolas Cage because all we have to do is tell him we'll be filming it and he'll fucking show up.
He's been in everything recently.
Well, it's just, I think he actually pays people to follow him around with a camera and then put it into movies. That's, he's done just, yeah.
What else? I just watched one with him this week too that was really interesting. He never spoke the whole movie. Gosh, what was that? Willy Wonderland?
Oh yeah, that's somebody else told me that. I wanted to see that, but when it came out, it was like $15 to rent it for the, just to rent the damn thing. And if I'm going to pay $15, I'm going to a movie theater.
Yeah, it was. Did I love it? I didn't love it. I really like Nicolas Cage as an actor. I really do. And so I really felt like I kind of miss having him talk, and the way he does is, kind of sounds the same in all his movies, but just in a different character.
He's the modern day Sean Connery.
Yes, and I still watched it till the very end, though. I had some questions at the end, which he never answered, but definitely it was. I'll say it was interesting if you like movies with puppets.
Okay, I'll take that review on it. When it came out, I said that is a great concept. Watching him do his action star shit on
in the middle of Chuck E. Cheese.
In the middle of Chuck E. Cheese, yeah. And so it is on my to watch list. Is it a normal rental now, or what's it on? No, it's not on Shudder, is it?
Oh, I watched it on something. Maybe it was Prime.
Okay, In other words, you probably did it through your terribly illegal
I probably
fire
did.
stick. Anyway,
Just
everybody.
ignored his really bad black dye job. That was the worst. That was very distracting for me. But.
Well, you never know what he's going to be wearing. Anyway, everybody, we're going to take our first commercial break. We'll be back with another speaker announcement. Be right back. Everyone is talking about CBD oil. Most of us know that CBD is a cannabis compound that has significant medical benefits, but does not make people high. Its benefits include pain relief, anti-seizure properties, anxiety relief, fights cancer, reduces the risk of diabetes, and it is even used as a sleep aid. Blue Leaf Naturals CBD and hemp products are full-spectrum hemp extract oils. They use only hemp grown in Kentucky, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses and helping you and your family stay healthy and well. Blue Leaf Naturals, created with care from seed to shelf. Visit their website at blueleafnaturals.com. Blue Leaf Naturals, a Kentucky proud company.
Horror. Movies. Fans. For. Life. On Facebook. Find us. For watch parties. For news. For memes. For friends. For life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Hey, Scarefest fans. This is one of the weirdest movies I've ever reviewed. I went on a deep dive looking for something obscure, and some of you may know this, but some of you may not. Imagine a movie where John Waters, David Lynch, and Napoleon Dynamite had a baby, and they decided to throw that baby into the water, or grease in this matter, and let it go. That's what The Greasy Strangler is. Now, if you've ever heard of The Greasy Strangler, kudos to you. I had not heard it. It's directed by, it's actually produced by Elijah Wood, his Spectre Vision company. They gave us a few other films, cooties. Just to give you, here's two of my favorite quotes. Bullshit artist, you hear all the time throughout it. And another one, hootie tootie disco tootie, hootie tootie disco tootie, hootie tootie disco tootie. If that annoys you, this may not be the movie for you. If you think that's funny, this is it. I mean, so I was looking for horror films and this was suggested, but it's not really a horror film. It does deal with someone who's strangling people in Greece. And it's so it's hard to explain it. Ronnie runs a disco walking tour with his son Braden, and a sexy woman takes the tour, begins a competition between father and son. It also signals the arrival of the oily strangler, the greasy strangler, who takes the streets at night. So yeah, that's the story. It's funny, but you're going to have a certain personality. It does have a little bit of blood, not a ton, but like the description I gave at first, John Waters, David Lynch, and Napoleon Dynamite had a baby that none of them wanted to keep, and then you get the Greasy Strangler. The director is Jim Hosking. I'm going to go have to check out his other films that he's made after this. He did a short for ABC's of Death Part 2. And I guess there's another movie after this called An Evening with Beverly Loughlin, which is similar to this, and I've got to find it now. So is it awful? It's not awful in the sense of it's a bad movie. It's just, it's very stylized, and you're either going to hate this and think that I'm insane, or you're going to enjoy it and go, oh my God, I can't get this out of my brain. Because I can't get it out of my brain. I finished watching it last night and I just I've thought about it. There's also a lot of male genitalia in this movie. Most of it I read. I started doing a deep dive on, not on male genitalia, but researching it, and I guess it's all prosthetics. But there's a lot. There's some ugly people getting nude in this movie. There's not a lot of it. If you're attractive, you're not getting nude in this movie. Should you watch The Greasy Strangler? Well, it's listed as a horror film, but it's more of a comedy. It's free on IMDb TV. Yeah, if you like what I just said, if you think the idea of David Lynch, John Waters, and Napoleon Dynamite having a baby is funny, and then knowing everyone ignoring that baby, and then it becomes this movie, then this movie's for you. If that sentence intrigues you, check out The Greasy Strangler. I'm going to start watching Jim Hosking other films. He's British. I don't know. There's a great story in it. The dad's played by a guy named Michael St. Michaels, whom I never heard of, and the son's Sky Elabar. But apparently there's a story. He tells a story in the movie about him and John Travolta partying. And apparently he actually was John Travolta's hairdresser back in the day in real life. Check out The Greasy Strangler. I mean, it's not really a horror film, but I watched it. I was told it's a horror film. It's listed as a horror film. It's more of a comedy. Check out The Greasy Strangler if you're brave enough to. If you can make it through the first 10 minutes and think this is so stupid but funny, then you're going to enjoy it. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you.
Going live.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Scarefest Television. This is our second round of speakers that we're announcing tonight. I still miss Joe's cat, though. The night his cat made the appearance was the best night of the Bonehead Weekly segment, if I do say so myself. I want to give a shout out in the chat room to Chris Majors, who will be hearing from me soon because he's like my celebrity fixer. When I run out of ideas, he hooks me up with beautiful, beautiful women to come on the show. Our next speaker announcement, seminar announcement, Suzanne McComas is coming back.
She's here in the chat room tonight.
I think third year presenting. I think that's right. But yeah, and standing room only every year. So Susan McComas, The Demon Within, Recognizing Evil. And that's all I can tell you. Because they didn't give me a bio or anything. She's been on the show a couple times, everybody. Basically, Suzanne's job has her interviewing convicts. Some of them claiming to be innocent, some of them are guilty as sin. But she talks about how some of them are just the changes you see. You'll be sitting in a cell with them sometimes, and you'll just see them go whatever they go. And I never really got it out of her if she thinks it's supernatural.
Well, she is legit too. She's former law enforcement, private detective. She is, so she knows what she's looking for when she is like looking at these criminals. And I think what she was saying in the past was that like very normal people could be living very normal lives, and then bam, something snaps and they just become something completely different. And that with talking with them, you could see something like in their eyes that they just didn't look right.
Load the Facebook logo right now. Yeah, I see it every damn day. I don't have to go to prison to see it. I've watched. Okay, one thing, big discussion in the chat room is, okay, there's rumor going around that we will not have to wear masks in October. Now, first of all, it's too early to promise that because, well, shit happens. But as of the official word from the governor of Kentucky, in 30 days from today, roughly, actually, he said the 11th. That's not 30 days. Where did he come up with a month? I don't know. I guess it was from when he started giving the vaccine to 12, 15-year-olds. Anyway, the point is, he says that June 11th is his target date, and we might just have a big old mask bonfire here on the farm. But he says at that point, the mask mandate will be no more, with a few exceptions, which actually makes sense. Hospitals, healthcare, long-term care facilities, public transit, which I've been a advocate of since first time I was on an airplane and heard some little kid 2 rows behind me blowing his nose every 5 seconds. But so yeah, but all capacity restrictions, all now y'all can still social distance if you'd like. Sometimes I prefer it, but otherwise, yeah, it is good news on the Scarefest front. And despite that, yesterday we had a message. Is this going to be on Facebook? Is this going to be a virtual convention? No. Real world. Get your hands dirty. Get in there. Get your hands dirty. Lick doorknobs like you used to.
That rumor, Wes.
Actually, that's it. We were going to do it virtually also, and we have not even touched on that. Although I've been doing a little research behind the scenes, maybe easier ways to do it. But unless I train someone, it would put me basically doing what the hell I'm doing now all damn weekend. I don't want to do that. But okay, yeah, Suzanne McComas will be speaking at the Scarefest, and her The Demon Within, Recognizing Evil. Now, on the front of catchy titles, I really think she won tonight because she got the D word in.
Mm-hmm.
And that always sells. So I'm loving the chat room is great tonight, though. I do want to point out. So if you're watching anywhere else, if you go to I think you said most of them are on my page on Facebook. So if you find Wes Forsyth, it's like Wes Forsyth 1, because when I signed up, Facebook had to hedge its bets or some bullshit. But it's like Wes Forsyth, got a picture of me in the rabbit costume. You'll know it's me. Anyway, yeah, the live feed on my page seems to have the most active chat, but also you can go to the Scarefest Facebook page. Scarefest, God. Facebook.com/The Scarefest. We also have a chat room there. Has a tonight, for some reason, it has fewer people. Or the group. Yeah, the group. There's also people in the group.
Yep.
There. Scarefest.horror.paranormal. But that's where we do all our chat. We tried running an independent chat room, and nobody would come to it. They were all chatting on Facebook. So we, what would be the right word? Succumbed to the wishes of the masses. Mm-hmm. Is that piss poor way of putting it? I'm aware. So anyway, let's see.
Yes.
Can I get him? Okay. Here's to Michelle. Somebody in the chat room asked for a shout out to Michelle. So,
which room are you seeing that?
I don't know. It didn't tell me. I've got all three of them.
Oh, yeah.
The regular
This is
Scarefest.
Michelle. Can I get a shout out for Michelle? That's in the group page. Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing? So yeah, we'll do shout outs.
Fantastic. I want to plug Susan McComas has a book too that's on self-defense. You can find it on Amazon. I bought it for my mom, bought it for my sister. Good stuff in there.
I remember that now. Never read the book.
Yep. You can borrow my copy.
Okay, well, we made it to the commercial break. Thank you, Joe. We're at the commercial break, everybody. We're going to take our second commercial break of the show. When we come back, we'll have the business at hand. I'll do my little things that I remind you of every week, and then we have another speaker announcement to follow that one up. Everybody, we'll be right back.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing,
and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
TellMeTarot.com. Rare tarot and oracle decks for the discerning enthusiast or collector. Odd decks are not for everyone. If you are a rare deck collector, art collector, or simply fall in love with a deck, then we might be for you. Right now, get 10% off your first order just for subscribing to their newsletter. Shipping is just $5.99 in the United States. TellMeTarot.com.
And welcome back, everybody. Don't forget, tickets are on sale at thescarefest.com. Thescarefest.com. Get your tickets for America's premier horror and paranormal real-world fandom convention held at the Central Bank Center, Lexington, Kentucky, October 22nd through 24th. Now, while we're on that slide, I'm going to answer a question from the chat room. We have no reason to believe at this point in time there will be any limits on capacity or ticket sales. We weren't even worried about having to limit ticket sales. We were worried at one time about capacity, but unless shit goes south, we are on track for a nice, normal convention per the governor of this fine state of Kentucky, or Commonwealth of Kentucky, or whatever you want to call it. Throw Axes with Killers on Friday night, October 22nd. We have tickets for sale for our axe throwing event. Basically, you go in, you get to go in, you'll be on a team with one of our celebrity axe throwers. They're getting ready to book some ladies. So some of the axe throwing will be with ladies. I know that came up in a discussion this last weekend. So I don't know who yet, because we got most of them bowling, but there you go. Now, to answer a question that comes up every week about the axe throwing, there will be spectator tickets on sale, but we cannot put them on sale until we have a pretty good handle on how many participants we're going to have, because they only let so many people in the building, and that is not a COVID rule. That's a fire marshal rule, because, well, there's laws. Anyway, Central Kentucky Mystical Market. I don't have the dates pulled up for June. Keep an eye on us. We will be having the June Mystical Market, and it looks like it should be bigger and better than ever, because we go into the next one with no doubts, no hesitancy, no restrictions on how many booths we can fit in the building. I'll confess, I had my shot. I brought my card with me last weekend. For the most part, I wore my mask when I was mingling, when I was around other people and moving around the building. When I was at my booth, I did not wear my mask, and if anybody asked why, I was going to flash that little card in their face. But anyway, so it's looking like next month we should not have any restrictions like that. It'll all be voluntary, which is the American way, voluntary. But yeah, Central Kentucky Mystical Market, it is really cool. If you're interested in any of that stuff, or just local arts and crafts, that's not crafts, but local vendors that make things with their hands. It's a great place to be. Speaker applications. They are still taking speaker applications. The reason I know this is I know a couple of people have turned them in just the last week or so. And there are some names that are not on my list yet that I'm expecting to see pop up. But if you would like to speak at the Scarefest 2021, Scarefest 13 Resurrection, we are still taking applications to fill out our little thing. And Film Festival, we are getting some great entries for the Film Festival this year. Film Festival entries are open. I'm thinking the early bird deadline, I want to say it's like June 1st. So if you go ahead, if you've got an independent horror film and you would like to enter it in our festival or paranormal documentary or paranormal show, you know what? That's something we don't have pop up. All these people do these sizzles. I'm surprised they don't turn them in on the film festival just to get some bragging rights, because I know every paranormal group in the United States of America has, in fact, done a television sizzle. But anyway, film festival entries are open. You can go to thescarefest.com, click the link, or just go to Film Freeway and look us up. But that will be running all weekend, and our film festival will be open to the public. You have to buy a ticket, but they won't have to come to Scarefest. So it'll be a great way. It'll be in an actual movie theater, and people can buy tickets and come and watch your movie on the big screen. And the Scarefest gift shop is open at scarefestradio.com. We've still got sweatshirts. We've got t-shirts from the lost year, and we got some logo merchandise, and of course a little bit of Scarefest Radio merchandise. We got to get it ordered together. But we do still have what's been on there, except we did sell out last week in one of the mask styles, because I guess nobody got the memo on the governor of Kentucky saying you don't have to wear them no more. But anyway, you're going to need masks. So yeah, don't be getting that idea. There's still, I'm going to keep one in my pocket at least through the next 30 days. And back to the show. To answer a question, I just saw a question pop up in the chat room. We do not have any updates on the Scream Queen bowling. I think it's something we actually need to get downtown and meet with the people that run the place, because as I was discussing with Felissa Rose, I don't know how, it's a scored event, and I don't know how many people we can have on a team and their computer, register it. We know that we have 4 lanes unless we take over the entire bowling alley, but we do not know how many people we can actually sell tickets to. And there will be no spectator tickets on that, because it's a bowling alley and bowlers are picky about stuff like that. On to the announcements. Do you bowl?
Do I bowl? I do not bowl, but I was just about to say those masks are probably going to be collector's items, especially since you're not going to need them possibly this year.
Speaking, cute mask story. Okay, last weekend I told you I put mine on and off. When I'd go to smoke, I'd put it on to walk out of the building. Well, because I was going to be there all weekend, I have learned a few tricks being my age and doing as many of these things as I have. I try to keep a little snack with me. Well, for this last weekend, it was jerky. So I had what I was calling pocket jerky. I had a pocket full of, well, it was in a plastic bag, dried salted meat. But anyway, so I had this bag of meat in my pocket, and it was open because jerky, you just reach in and grab a piece. Well, guess where I decided to keep my mask for a while?
Oh, in your jerky pocket?
Yes, and it pulled it out.
The mask smelled like salted meat?
Yes, it smelled just like jerky. Yes, Ew. Jake Godbold, karaoke will be a front and center event this year. We have confirmation we'll probably be doing it 2 nights. We're going to do it Friday night, possibly, hell, it might be all 3 nights. What are we doing Thursday? I don't know about Thursday night, Jake. I'm not sure about Thursday, but probably because we've gotten so many requests for it, there's a damn good chance we'll do some type on Thursday night. But right now, I think it's scheduled for Thursday and Friday. So you can karaoke your buttocks off, as we like to say in the business. Anyway, on to our next speaker announcement. My friends, our supporter, our sponsor, Spirit Mechanics. The boys at Spirit Mechanics will be giving a lecture called Uninvited Guest Horror Stories from the Road. And they do travel a lot. They invited me to go to somewhere in Georgia next month with them. And first of all, they get referrals from a very famous celebrity. And I'm not even going to drop names. It just sounds too self-serving. Amy Allen. But They get referrals, and then they show me the text. She texted them and said, "Can you all come to Atlanta, Georgia?" Actually, I didn't say Georgia's. Can you all come to Atlanta next month? And they asked me, "Hey, you want to take a trip to Atlanta?" And I said, "Wait, you mean like Atlanta proper?" No. Now, if it's like some suburb or a little town outside of Atlanta, maybe. But yeah, Atlanta. It's funny. I deal with ghosts and demons and all that stuff.
Yeah.
People scare me. Ghosts don't scare me. Atlanta scares me. Chicago scares me. Seattle used to not scare me. Now Seattle, Washington scares me. There's all these places on the face of the earth that I have no idea. Louisville scares me now. And this, of course, this is because I'm a big girl. But I'm just, Cincinnati has always scared me. Although I have been there a few times. But yeah.
Are we talking about paranormal things still? Or what are you talking about with?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I'm scared of people, and I'm invited to go to paranormal things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyway, Spirit Mechanics, they're here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and much, much more. With 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. There is a question you have and cannot answer, they will do the best to assist you. Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately abused. Spirit Mechanics pride themselves on being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions. All this, and I still don't exactly know what Uninvited Guest Horror Stories from the Road is about, but I'm going to assume it's stuff that they've done traveling about the country, doing their Spirit Mechanics stuff.
Because they do like exorcisms and stuff, right?
Yep, they will.
Yeah, they do it all. I don't know what Celtic witchcraft is. I don't know what that is.
Well, Celtic would mean from the Highlands of Scotland, I believe, and it's old type witchcraft, not the New Age shit.
They do spells wearing kilts.
Ooh, I just got a visual image of Steve Smith wearing a kilt. Anyway, the answer, no, it's okay. Celtic witchcraft is basically old school witchcraft. Okay, old school. When I hear somebody say, when somebody tells me they're a witch nowadays, my first question is, are you a family witch or an internet witch? And of course, what are you talking about? No, a family witch means this is a tradition handed down generation to generation.
Okay.
An internet witch is
somebody
who Googled it. Well, basically means they Googled it and thought, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah.
That's something I watched this week. I watched the remake of The Craft.
What'd you think?
I didn't hate it. You know, I liked the first one so much that I wasn't really expecting much from the newer one. But I kind of liked it, and I felt like the ending had a little twist to it. I wasn't expecting that ending. Did you see it yet?
No, I have not watched it, and greatly because I've seen so many bad reviews, mostly from Scarefest aficionados that love the first one so much. Now, here's my question to you.
Amazing, yeah.
Despite the good points of the movie, did it need to be made? Did it need to be made?
No, the first one was so good. They really didn't need to do that. But, they're targeting a new generation now. The first one was when I was a teenager, and I wanted to watch a teenager in the movie. Now we've got a new set of teenagers that want to watch.
Why didn't they just take CGI and stick cell phones in their damn hands in the first one? And there, you've got a. I don't remember anything particularly dated about the first movie. I mean, maybe the hairstyles.
Definitely not. No, because the girls had pretty much almost the same hairstyles as in the first one. Yeah. And
it was a uniform. If I remember correctly, they wore uniforms to school, so you can't blame it on their clothes.
Well, not in this one. This one needed it. It wasn't a private school; it was a public school.
Well, see, but that's this one. I'm saying we're discussing the first one. But anyway,
I don't want to spoil it, but the girl in the second movie was the daughter of one of the witches from the first movie.
Ooh. Well, I mean, that was okay. That would at least. Well, then it's not a remake; it's a sequel.
Yes, it was a sequel. Absolutely.
Okay. See, now that's better. Because God knows if the horror movie industry quits doing sequels, I can name you about 3 people that are out of business. Everybody, we're going to do a little commercial break now. We'll be right back with our final speaker announcement for Scarefest 2021. Scarefest 13, Scarefest Resurrection. Mama Ruby offers fun vendor-based events that focus primarily on the metaphysical and spiritual aspects of our lives. Well, 2020 didn't go as planned, to say the least. Since Mama Ruby's can't bring the vendors to you in person, they still encourage you to support them online. For links to these and other outstanding artists, craftspeople, vendors, and psychics, visit mamarubies.com and click shop. And welcome back to the final segment of Scarefest Television. It's me and Cece Ann bringing you the news from the Scarefest. Let's see. Are any special photo ops coming up? We have some great celebrities. Hell yes! The problem with photo ops, though, okay, I'll explain this a little bit. When you don't have your guest list finalized, like we try to not take the celebrities away from their tables just willy-nilly. We try to do, anytime we can, we'll do a group photo op based on a movie franchise. So until you've gotten pretty well neck deep into getting your celebrities booked and announced, it's not, you don't want to fill up the calendar with photo ops and then not have any spaces left to do the really good photo ops that people, because all cons have celebrity photo ops. But the group photo ops are the ones that people really, really die for. Not that we want anybody to die, don't get me wrong. But, so that's it. But we will, we were, that was actually an email string that I was in on this week that went, I'm not even going to use the F-bomb. It went nowhere. Because we didn't have anything. The photo op people are saying, hey, let's start selling photo ops. And we're like, yeah, let's. And then they said, what do you want to sell? Well, we don't know. But anyway, the photo ops shit will probably go on sale, I'm guessing, within the next 30 days, just because one thing I've taught them at Scarefest, no one will give you money until you ask for it. No one will give you money until you ask for it. So we have to get some stuff on sale, and that includes photo ops, which should be on sale very, very soon. Our final speaker announcement of the evening, Steve Coles. Steve Coles is a licensed private investigator in New York, author, lecturer, and TV personality. He has a lifelong fascination with the Bigfoot phenomenon since an early age. Well, that's what makes it lifelong. In 1998, after reading Monsters of the Northwoods, he learned that there were numerous sightings reported close to his residence in upstate New York. So I do not know exactly what his speech is supposed to be, but apparently it will be about Bigfoot because that's what he talks about. So, a little side note. We used to go camping up in Shawnee Forest in Ohio. It's close to Portsmouth, Ohio. I had no idea. It's camped there for years. Had no idea. Bigfoot hotspot.
In Ohio?
Yes.
Really?
Bigfoot like trees. They're not picky. Kentucky's a hot spot. Ohio's a hot spot. Pennsylvania. It's the whole Allegheny Mountain thing, I guess.
Interesting. Well, I went out to Mount St. Helens once. And, you're going out in these roads and you're in the middle of the woods. And, I just kept thinking if you disappeared out there, nobody would ever find you. So Why would he be out there and not be found yet? So
I never really like Pennsylvania. I drove through Pennsylvania going to guess we went to Gettysburg. When you're driving up the interstate and you look to the side of the road and all you see are trees and there's no lights, there are huge areas in Pennsylvania that there's nothing but trees and big feet. Bigfoots.
And big feet.
Yeah. Bigfoots. Sasquatches.
So has Steve had an interaction with Bigfoot?
He's got some pretty. No, I wouldn't call it a direct interaction. He's come pretty close. He's convinced a few times. To tell you the truth, 90% of what he does is follow up on other people's Bigfoot stories and debunk them. But he's a believer. It's not, he is a believer, and he's had enough encounters. Unexplained encounters in the woods, noises too close to camp, things being tossed at him from, big feet like to throw rocks because they're snarky.
Because they're snarky.
Yes. Ghoster.
Because they want to give you a concussion.
Yes. Go. It's funny to be in the paranormal world. Okay, ghosts are just needy. They all just need therapy. That's what ghosts need. They need therapy. Ghosts are needy, and Bigfoots are snarky. They throw things. They don't want you around. It's territorial stuff. They piss all over the place, thinking that us humans can smell it, but it doesn't work because we're humans. And
I'm looking for him.
So Steve has authored 3 books, 50 large. What would Sasquatch do? And the Sasquatch Playbook, in case you have a team of Sasquatches and want to scrimmage with them. Steve has appeared on the History Channel, the National Geographic Channel, Travel Channel, and Destination America. Big featured on series programming, and has appeared in numerous documentaries. That is one cool thing about working at Scarefest and meeting these people. You'll be on TV watching something, and this one will pop up out of the blue. I almost bought a Bigfoot sign in the last week. It was on Amazon. It basically said, warning, Bigfoot breeding area, don't make eye contact. So, thought I'd throw that out there. I thought it was damn cute. I thought it was damn cute.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
So that's our 4 speaker announcements for tonight. Stephanie Bingham, Susan McComas, Spirit Mechanics, and Steve Coles.
All very exciting announcements.
And everybody know this. I'm going to put a special request, and by the way, probably Bad Tarot will be there because I always end up doing a fill-in. But the point is, I'm going to put out a special request to everybody. Keep the speakers in mind this year because they're going to be across the street. So go over, have a beer, watch a seminar. They'll be doing it over at the Lex Live. We won't be in the building because, oddly enough, the building's not finished. The upstairs where we are, the main convention hall, which, by the way, that's very scary. Do you realize they put all the convention stuff on the top floor, and then underneath that's where all the meeting rooms are? So if we have a really big crowd, we can just crush everybody beneath us. Just throwing that out there.
Who thinks of that? Who thinks the ladies wear comfortable shoes is what he's saying.
Yeah. Anyway, don't stomp. Just everybody don't stomp. But we could not count on any of the meeting rooms being ready in the building. Now, for the record, the upstairs, and this is one I can go, hey, Hope, it's done. We said it would be done. Yeah, well, and by the way, yes, and for fans of UK, the UK suites were finished before the convention center, which I think is kind of tells you where our priorities are in Kentucky. That being said, but yeah, the convention hall is apparently state of the art. Did anybody in the chat room, have you been to it yet? They've had a couple of big conventions. They had the lawn and garden show, and they had something else, I think, since then.
Mark is asking, where will the vendors be?
In the convention hall. in
the main
Lexington Center.
convention hall. Okay.
Literally, if you've ever been there before, except for the entrance being moved, the convention center is in the exact same place. When you all get there and you go to walk in, you're going to go, oh my God, they've moved it down the street. No, it's in the same place. Exactly. I mean, with exactly same place. They moved the entrance around to the front of Rupp Arena instead of walking around the back side of it like you used to do. But you were indoors and you had things to amuse you to look at, like stores and food courts and that kind of stuff. But it is literally in the same exact place. They moved the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is where the vendors will be. Basically, you go in the big entrance, there's a big hallway, which is actually big enough for most conventions, but the hallway is just the teaser. But the good thing is, if it's raining and there's a line, we can snake you up and down there. And you won't have to stand inside. You won't have to stand outside in the rain waiting to get in. You go into the convention hall, and then they haven't changed floor plan on me. Stars Row will be kind of to the back wall and to the right. All the vendors will be right as you go in. And there is a map. Shanna, will you need a map? Do you ever need a map when you get in Scarefest? Jeez, you go up and down aisles. If you want a map, though, there is one already posted. You just have to pretend that you're buying a booth.
Pretend you're buying a booth. Got it. On it.
Wait, are you asking me two things? Yeah, and Lex Live has like 3 bars, 2 big ones and 1 little one. So there'll be plenty of places to drink. They will be serving beer on the convention floor. And where we're going to drink now? Yeah, okay, that was the question. Where are we going to drink now that yesterday's bar is gone? I'm going to stick my neck out and say we'll either take over the bourbon bar, which is called the Corner Bar, or the sports bar, whose name completely escapes me. But they are both in Lex Live. Easy walking distance, especially if you go to the seminars. And then they have a smaller bar upstairs. So if you at the bowling alley, no, movie theater level. I'm trying to remember which level the bowling alley is.
I'm getting the feeling there's a lot of drinkers in this group.
Bowling alley's on the first.
Bowling alley's on the first. So okay, it's movie. Half of the movie theaters are upstairs, and that is
yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's like a bunch of movie theaters upstairs, but they have their own separate small bar. And that might be where we congregate just to stay away from the riffraff that comes in off of Lexington streets.
Do we know anything about food vendors?
Okay, here's what I can tell you about food vendors. Because this company, Vended, they have the contract for the Louisville, the new International Convention Center in Louisville. I went to Comic-Con 2 years ago. You walk in the building, and they had like 2 or 3 coffee shops. Problem solved for me. That was my biggest complaint. It's one of the top 3 anyway, about the old convention center. There was no place to get good coffee in the building. They had vendors set up basically before you walked into the convention, food vendors for snacks, cakes, that kind of stuff. Then they did a food court on the convention floor. So you actually, yes, if they do it, if they run it the same way they did Louisville, and all indications are that because that's what this company does, yes, there will be food vendors on the convention floor, a variety of foods. I mean, it's convention food, don't expect to buy a steak, but there will be eats during the day. You can get a good sandwich and whatever. Now, there will be, of course, for our alcoholics in the audience, yes, there will be beer vendors actually also scattered about on the floor. We're even thinking about putting them like next to some of the long lines just to keep people happy. Then Lex Live has a full menu. And it's not just a bar menu, they actually have a chef. They're trying to keep prices down, but yes, Lex Live, you can buy food. You can go in their 2 bars, and they have actual real food that you can eat right there. And of course, Lexington, other than that, if you walk another block, Lexington is famous for its restaurants, many of which did not close due to COVID. Chad flattered me in the chat room. So, any more questions from the chat room? Anybody? I'm on a question answering binge, but we're out of time. So, screw it. There's my tax information. Because I reuse paper like a good boy. Anyway, we're going to, we'll be back next week. I do not know what we're doing next week. That's why I gotta get on the horn, and it's supposed to rain this week, so hopefully I'll have a little free time to get some ends tidied up. I gotta post some movies for my Patreon judges so we can get back to work. But everybody, this has been Scarefest TV. Cece, thank you for sitting through another week of this.
Of Wes on Fire. Love it.
It's worked out. It was your turn in the barrel twice because, oh God, she knows what that joke means.
Everybody have a great weekend. See you at Scarefest.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We're looking forward to a great year at Scarefest because it looks like a lot of this stuff is just not going to be an issue anymore. See you next week.
Oh, and if you haven't booked your hotel, book your hotel. They are booking up.
Yes, that is all. Yeah, that's another bad thing. Keeneland is open. And so, yeah, hotel rooms will fill up all about Lexington. So get your rooms booked at your earliest convenience.